Hello everybody, welcome back to Sunday Night Stock Car Series here at Midwest Motorsports. As we are going to go ahead and take the green flag, Dustin Ryan will put it on the pole with Jordan Trzakos in his debut Midwest Motorsports race on second. Starting third, Jason Huffman, myself starting fourth. Curale starting in fifth, and Norm Snyder back in sixth place. 150 laps here in the desert as we duke it out here. Dustin Reinsettle will go ahead and take the first lap for himself. Everybody else staying above the dogleg here, interestingly enough, through turn one, or into turn one. We've got 5 sets of tires waiting for us in the wings here. It'll be interesting to see what the strategy play will be for the rest of the field. My name is Michael Harris Jr. I'm the host here in the Oval Series. Jason Huffman going side by side, or at least trying to put the nose underneath Dustin Reinzel through the dog leg there. Getting into turn one. And we'll see how long the pit side or the fuel load will last. Someone gonna have to short stop. Jason Huffman. I just combined Dustin and Jason. We're in for a long night, folks. Everybody bouncing off the wall there into out of turn two. Jason Huffman crosses over. Dustin Reinsettle will take the lead here after lap 3, or lap 4. And Jason going to try to see if he can open up a gap there over Dustin Reinsettle early on. Like I said, Reinsettle set the pole lap time. I'm back behind the wheel of this number 40 Toyota Supra, this time with JBL on the hood. I'm putting my streak on the line once again. 6 times I've made it in the podium here. And Phoenix just might be the death knell. We'll find out here. Trzakos making a move there, trying to make a move through turn 3. Don't know if he just got loose going into the entry there, but able to hold the vehicle. Jason Huffman running high through turn 1 and 2. Trying to see if he can get multi-groove racing to work here at Phoenix. Obviously, you want to save some of your fuel and tire wear here. After finishing second last week, struggling to really break into the top 4 here. 6 drivers out on the field for another Sunday full of action here. Couple of battles looking out ahead of myself, and all 6 of us will be embroiled in some kind of battle here. We got our race lead where Dustin's just keeping tabs on Jason Huffman early on, and then you've got Curale and Trzakos battling it out for third. Norm Snyder is trying to catch up to me here early on to battle for 5th place. The old rival at it again. Everybody's staying above the dog leg here this time around. Friday night full of action for Midwest Motorsports with the Truck Series. Called that from the booth. Tonight behind the wheel. So we were driving at the old Milwaukee Mile. And already, unfortunately, I forgot to write down the next race on the calendar here for the Stock Car Series, but we'll get that to you by the end of the race during the interviews. 12 laps down, this 150 lap feature. Jason Huffman staying ahead of Dustin Reinstedel early on. Dustin just kind of, I'd imagine, figuring out what he's going to do with his car, how he's going to be able handling these fuel stops here as he goes underneath Jason through the dog leg, unable to make a move through 1 and 2, putting some pressure on that number 4 Ford Mustang. Corrali and Terzakos still battling. And it looks like Terzakos unable to hold on to third through turns 3 and 4 as the number 19 slips on by on the outside. I'd like to thank you all for tuning and watching here in the early goings. We appreciate everything you fans do for our drivers. The support that you provide week in and week out when you can is something that means a lot to many of us here. Just to have somebody support your hobby, it's something you care about. It's just really special. I know my wife's not actually watching me do this, but the fact that she tries to make sure that I can accommodate it, make it into my busy schedule here, is just a blessing and support in itself. We are here the 12th of July, second week of the Oval Series, both the trucks and the stock cars. This Tuesday night, the Road Series will be on to week 4 at Silverstone. That much I do remember off the top of my head. And speaking of that, well, we still got some battles going on there. I lost track myself of Jason and Dustin, but I know they're still duking it out here. Dustin hoping that Jason has some kind of mistake in one of these corners. He can maybe force one. Well, let's talk about our weekly program here. Go about it every week, or every race. But you all know that on Sunday nights at 8:25 Eastern Standard Time, the Midwest Stock Car Series kicks it off. Green Flag Racing. And then our Road Series kicks off their race on Tuesdays at 7:30 Eastern. For a 1-hour session. And to end the regular work week on Friday nights, the Truck Series starts at race Green Flag at 9:55 Eastern Standard Time. All of our racing series are open and recruiting and free to join. You're welcome to join in on any of these. See if you can put any of our drivers to the test, including myself. If you go to our website, which I'm sure has popped up on your screen at some point here, midwest-motorsports.com or MWMS Racing. Racing. You can find all the information you need to sign up for our racing league, to any of the 3 series on iRacing, and the Discord information to join our Discord server. All of our series are fixed racing series. And our road series is driving in the Porsche pickups for the 2nd year in a row. We'll see if the drivers vote for a 3rd time for season 13. Who knows? Jason Huffman still has that advantage over Dustin Ryan-Settle here. And speaking of that road series on Tuesday nights, that is broadcasted by our legendary voices of Adam Sondag and the man, the myth, the legend himself, James J. Which is why we call this the 7-Time Studio. Jason Huffman, like we said, still has that lead over Dustin Reinstedel early on, and Jason Terzakos moving on ahead in 3rd as he's finally broken away. Dustin Reinstedel able to take the lead from Jason. They were side by side at the line. Chris Curale has fallen into 4th place here. I've been able to catch up a little bit to him. Now, depending on what strategy you might be playing here, there's definitely something to be said about pitting now. You'll have to make 5 stops for sure. But we'll see what everybody's pit strategy is coming on through this race. Dustin is starting to pull away now. Able to save on his tires early. Able to figure out how Jason's been running his lines and now ready to put on a show. Getting closer and closer to the pit window. Here on lap 29 for most of us here. 28 laps down. It's looking just under 9 laps of fuel left in this number 40 Toyota Supra. So maybe I can make it to lap 38. There is a potential for some fuel saving in order to make this run work. I was just talking with our admin team earlier, before the broadcast about how I kind of miss the old Phoenix layout with the grass there, and after what was turn 1 and 2. That's right, back in the day, the back stretch you know now used to be the front stretch. You didn't used to have to go all the way around the track to make a pit stop. And our first one in the pit road, Norm Snyder. He's going to come on down. Of course, nobody's really expecting cautions with the field at the size that it is, but that doesn't mean it won't happen. As the field has gone a whole lap around Norm as he's trying to get to his pit box. So one of the things we'll have to consider here as drivers is just what to make of your pit strategy when you have to go pretty much the whole length of the racetrack to even pit. And Dustin Reinsettle, Jason Huffman coming on down pit lane. Chris Curale, is he coming in? Nope, he's still out on the racetrack. As is Jason Trezakos. The number 13 in his first race has gone ahead and led the lap. And the new leaders are going down pit lane. While the number 40 stays out on the racing surface. .40 this time. So we'll get the lap there. Dustin Reinsettle looking to take the lead back. So he goes around. Everybody back on the racing surface outside of the number 40 who's in pits. The pits now. Coming out. We'll stay below the apron and let Curale go. Dustin will take his lead back last time around, and he's behind me, gonna try to go for the lap. Wow. I don't think I've worn the tires any less than I did this time. 81. It's like a Christmas miracle. Usually I burn tires. Maybe I could have gone 12-1 this time. I decided to go for 14-1 myself this time. After pitting on lap 32, it's looking like Norm Snyder's coming back down pit lane here on lap 42. Or lap 41, actually. Not sure what's going on. Maybe he's just short pitting there so he didn't have to later. Trying to use some fuel pit strategy. I find a way to just increase how much, do some fuel saving here. Because with the math that I had, you miss by 3 laps if you pit every 37th lap. It looks like Norm Snyder has dropped out. Not sure if there was something going on with his connection or if he's just not having a good time behind the wheel of that car, but look forward to seeing Norm on Friday. Back behind the wheel. Raleigh going a little too high there. Hits the wall coming out of 1 and 2. Forces the 40. Just going low through the turns. To go low. Is able to clear the 19. Back up front, Dustin Reinsettle with a 6.5 second lead over Jason Huffman at the stripe, who himself has a 6.7 second advantage over third Jason Tzakos. Tzakos has a 9-second advantage over myself. So the closest battle on track is that battle for fourth going on right now. Chris Curale trying to see if he can reel back that number 40 machine. I'm going to try to fuel save as much as I can. See if I can push this one. If I can push this to lap 56, 57, that'd be Even better here. Actually, no. We're looking at 60. Right? No, it'd be 70. I can't math today, folks. No wonder why my math's wrong. I'm trying to math. I promise you I did math beforehand at 37, so it'd be 74. So if we can last to lap 77, I think we'll be in the good for the rest of the race. Now, if that actually has any advantage, we'll find out, because obviously Dustin might lap us before we can make use of that, so it might not even make any difference. The gap between the 11 and the 4 continues to build. .5 seconds that time at the line. Terzakos is closing though at 6.1. I am slowly losing though at 8.9. Curale 1.1. Not a good exit there in turn 3 and 4. For myself anyway. Another pit cycle where Dustin Reinsettle comes out with a big advantage. He's just a machine at the pit stops. .58 laps complete now by Dustin Reinsettle. A third of the way, or more than a third of the way through the race. Dustin looking to... I know it's early on still, but Dustin is currently looking for a second sweep of the Oval Series weekend. Gaps haven't really changed much in the past couple of laps. So I mentioned everybody else that puts these broadcasts together, makes this league come together. We'll talk about couple more people that are important to the Midwest Motorsports Racing League. That being our race director, who's also the cameraman today, Josh Watt. Calls all the cautions. Gives everybody the rule book. Sometimes drives the safety car around. Deals with the penalties and a lot of the behind the scenes stuff in this league, so I'm grateful to have him. Every once in a while joins us behind the wheel. Last season driving in the Road Series near full time and driving in the Oval Series as well. And we can't forget the owner of the Racing League, Eric Thaler, who's normally with us in the Oval side. The godfather of Midwest Motorsports. Over here, it's his birthday, so if you Midwest Motorsports fandom happen to bump into that number 15 driver somewhere in the Everglades of Florida, wish him a happy birthday for us all. Happy birthday, Eric Thaler. Look forward to having you back on track. Dustin Reinsettle catching up to some lap traffic here on lap 66. Jason Huffman now a whole 10 seconds behind Dustin Reinsettle. It looks like Dustin is going to come on down pit lane just before I end up going a lap down. Jason Huffman joining in as well. And the 40 car back out front as he stays out. Chris Curale also staying out here. Dustin Reinsettle getting back on the racetrack. So yeah, we will definitely go a lap down. Chris Curale is going to come on down pit lane. And that 40 car, the only one left who has yet to pit since lap 37. And Jason Huffman, something happening there. He's back down pit lane. Not sure what's going on with that. Dustin Reinsettle is moving him up to second place. So he is closing right on down on that number 40 machine. $40 this time. 40. The 40 can't seem to get down pit lane. Dustin Reinsettle will now take over the race lead. "75 laps down in the books." Dustin Reinsettle leading that lap there. Halfway through this race. $40 out. Jason Huffman putting down the purple lap that time around. Oh, I didn't realize I was in third place. So Terzakos gets his qualifying spot. So he's up now in second place, trying to stay ahead of our race leader. Race leader working on a lap. 86 now, 85 in the books. As he closes into Jason Huffman, is about a second behind the number 4. Everybody pretty well spread out now as Curale has fallen to 2.5 seconds behind myself. That is the closest battle on the track. Dustin has an almost full track advantage over Terzakos in second. Terzakos is under 9 seconds ahead of myself. Of course, I do have 5-lap fresher tires, so there is that. "91 laps now in the books for race leader Dustin Reinsettle. As he is now right on the rear of Jason Huffman. Jason currently a lap down, or 2 laps down. Reinsettle unveiling a host of new paint schemes that will be donning that number 11 throughout the year. Switching things up from the Putt View and Bear Nation. Dustin now has gone around Jason Huffman. Put him another lap down. As now Dustin goes to try to catch up to lap the entire field. It's only 0.8 seconds behind him now. Dustin Ryan Settle going around. Terzakos will make the pass, lap the entire field on lap 101. He's now on lap 102. Terzakos, Harris, and Curale will get their lap back here as Dustin Ryan settled down pit lane for the penultimate time. Coming down on lap 105. Terzakos coming on down pit lane that time. Dustin Reinsettle comes on out, but is behind Harris. How long will the 40 car be able to hold that lead? Dustin's on much fresher tires. Dustin on the high side here through the dog leg. And he'll make the pass there complete on lap 109. Dustin back in the lead. 109 laps complete. I might be able to make it, folks. Dustin now has a 3-second advantage over myself. Curale currently listed in third, about 7.5 seconds ahead of Terzakos. Going for broke here. $40 this time, $40 this time. And we're starting to sputter already. Do we have enough to make it? How much did we lose just to make that happen? Down to 30 miles an hour here. Dustin's gonna lap me. Oh, I might make it. Oh, we might actually make it to the end here. Curale and Terzakos will go around. Reinsettle will probably go around for another lap here. $40 out. Dustin has gone around again. $34 laps to go. I'm now 2 laps down. See if I can at least get one of these back. Dustin with a whole lap lead. He's got a lot of stuff to play with here, as everybody else behind him, except for that 40, will have to pit again. We're going to dive it in under him. Through turns 3 and 4, he'll let us go by. We've got Terzakos to catch up to here. Oh, we got wheel damage from that one. Although the crew chief's not talking about it, so must not be affecting too much. As we've caught up to the number 13 Terzakos, who is running in third. We'll make the pass, and we'll head up to third place. Dustin Reinsettle comes down pit lane for the final time. Will anybody be able to keep up with him? Terzakos will go ahead and head on down as well. Chris Curale stays out on the racetrack. Dustin Reinsettle back on the racing surface. He still holds the race lead. I guess I miscalculated how many laps I was down. Curale coming down pit lane now on lap 129, 130 as Dustin exits turn 2. Harris will take over second now. Less than 20 to go now. 19 to go as Dustin crosses the stripe. The top two cars are the only ones on the lead lap now. Kind of wish I fuel saved a little bit better there through the first groove. The 19 going down to get his lap back over the number 40. $17 to go now. Soon to be 16. Dustin Ryan settle 5 seconds back from Harris. With 13 lap fresh rubber on there. If he actually was interested in putting tires on, I imagine he would. Got 5 sets, so why not? I'm thinking that right front damage is tightening up this race car a bit, which isn't helping me in these corners very much. Especially 3 and 4. As Dustin crosses the stripe here, 136 laps have now been complete in the dark here in Phoenix. As he looks to lap the field. Oh boy, yeah, no, that right front damage really hurting that number 40, but Zakos is catching up here. The closest battle on track is the battle for third right now, is Curale. Only has a 8.5 second, now 8.9 second advantage. Maybe I have to change my angles here. Dustin Ryan settle now on the inside of the 40 to try and lap him. And he's got him right now. And Dustin Reinsettle has lapped the field. Ten to go. Oh, it's 2 times in that wall there for the 40. A battle for third, stretching out further and further. Chris Corrale looking for a podium here. Wants to hold on to it as long as possible. And he's running away with that battle for third right now. He's really hoping that he could make it in time. Catch up to that number 40. See if he could get second place. I'll take the time now to talk a little bit about, or once again talk about the racing league here, Midwest Motorsports. One last push. If you happen to be interested in joining our league after what you've seen tonight, saying that you can do better than that number 11 Chevrolet, feel free to join us. Recruiting or registration and joining the league is free. The league is always free and open, especially during the racing season. It's still early. You can still get your name down on the standings and battle for position here. Our league does 2 drop races and see where you stack up with some of Midwest current driver roster. If you go to the link in the description down below on YouTube, or you're just interested, midwest-motorsports.com or mwms.racing. I'll have all the information you will need about joining our racing league, between the rules, regulations, requirements. Again, our series, all 3 of them, fixed. We have the Xfinity cars on Sunday night, the Truck Series on Friday night, and the Road Series driving the pickup Porsche. Our other broadcast team for the Road Series, led by Adam Sondag and James J., the legendary voice of the Midwest Motorsports broadcast team. "12 weeks compose our racing seasons. As of season 11 for the oval and season 12 for the road. Two laps to go for Dustin Reinsettle as he rounds turn 4. The white flag waves this time by. Well, I could have actually made it. I get the white flag. I just got the 2 to go for gas. At any rate, Dustin Reinsettle comes around the corner for the 4th time this season overall. 2nd time here in the Stock Car Series. Takes the checkered flag in the duel in the desert. 150 Mike Harris Jr. will bring that number 40 JBL Toyota Supra in second place. Chris Corrale winds that number 19 home in third. Jason Trizakos makes his series debut and brings it home in fourth place in the number 13. Jason Huffman finishes fifth. Norm Snyder ends in sixth place. TJ Wood showed up. Not sure if something was going on in testing or not, but was unable to compete in the race today. Stick around for driver broadcasts if my computer upstairs can survive that long. Where we will talk with Dustin Reinsettle and Christopher Curale. I will get it. All right, just gathering everybody here. All right. So before we bring our crew on in for the interviews, let's talk about where we're going to be going next. Next week, we will be at Texas Motor Speedway for the Truck Series on Friday night. Didn't have the screen in front of me, that's why we're talking about it now. And I got it in front of me now here. Next week for the stock cars, we'll be at Kansas Speedway for 150 laps. So without further ado, let's get our third place finisher right on up here, Christopher Curale.
Hey, what's going on, guys?
Mr. Curale, you've got a copy.
I got you.
I guess you don't. You're on mute. How about now?
Hey, you got me.
There we go. We got that number 19 here. And, well, Phoenix, interesting here at the nighttime. Why don't you go take us through your race tonight?
Oh, man, I don't know what I was doing, to be honest with you. I feel like I was just pushing into one and then into, 3 out of 4. I just pushing everywhere. I think I was just overdriving each corner, trying to make up some lap time, and then I don't know. I don't know how I kept the right front on it because I banged the wall quite a few times tonight. So nice heavy duty Ford Mustang we got going on there. So I don't know. I honestly have no idea how I did it. I just kept it together and we brought it across the line of third.
Well, that's all you can do in battle of attrition here, and in fact, they were able to do that and some pit cycling. So, did you guys? What was your pit strategy that you had going on?
Well, I took it for the first run. I figured I'd take it all the way, and I literally 5 stalls away. I ran out of fuel, and I coasted through. So we made it. The next one, the second stop, we just we did it with five laps remaining, and then I short pitted on the last one, which that's where I guess it benefited me. I have no idea, to be honest, because we were so spread out. But I short pitted, and it just worked out, and I ended up third.
Very good there, and well, it's cool to have you back up here, Chris. I think it's 2 weeks in a row we've gotten you up here in the booth, finishing third both times. What do you think about for having Kansas next week?
I'm hoping it's gonna be a better run, to be honest. I'm not, saying third is bad. I felt like I really struggled tonight. I'm hoping Kansas is gonna be a much needed, hopefully maybe second place finish. I don't want to say the win because that's not too common, but maybe a second place finish.
Well, we can always set those goals high there, but yes, definitely we'll look to see how you do next week, and thank you for coming on up here and joining us down on track. And
Yeah, absolutely. I appreciate it, guys.
all right, your third place finisher, Chris Corrales, everybody. And well, Dustin, I guess you could take it away.
Yeah, so Mike, second week in a row, you've been in the podium, specifically second. How'd your race go?
Well, I'll tell you, when I loaded up in the session here and set a couple practice laps, I was not sure how we were going to do. I merely thought the number 40 JBL Toyota was not going to hit the podium, which would have ruined the overall streak I've had since last season. I think we're on six times on the podium here. Yeah. But I came in, did some practice, and changed the steering ratio for qualifying. That kind of helped me feel a little bit better about where we were at. Set it back to 14-1 for the race, and then thought, oh, I might have, after the first pit cycle went, I might have actually made this work out with 12-1 because I was at 81% on the right front. Yeah, I just at that point did the math and figured I was just going to have to push for the fuel strategy. I was not going to get you on pace. I'd have a better time of at least short, having 4 pit cycles instead of 5. And well, it definitely didn't work out to get there, but it worked out to get me up to second.
Cool. Congratulations on second. Any shout outs or anything you'd like to give?
Well, I guess shout out to JBL for sponsoring me for this one here. The season's going to be very interesting with sponsorships for myself, where I've been primarily racing one company for most of the season. So, with being in the booth, I guess companies aren't doing the full rides anymore. But other than that, just shout out to you. You gave me a little bit of tidbits and advice. I did watch a video by now the name escapes me, but he's in the iRacing Coca-Cola series.
Nice. That's how you got to do it.
I'm just watching a video from him.
They hand out advice for free on YouTube most of the time, so it's really just like I've said before, brake bias, steering ratio, whatever fits the way you drive, and then just being consistent pretty much the whole race.
Absolutely. And oh yeah, also for Eric, our the boss man here, for his birthday, and for also providing me with some advice on this track specifically.
Yeah, he's honestly. I was talking about that with Huffman about mid race, or I guess start of the race before Jason had his issue, and that's what I told him. I'd like to see what Eric would be doing right now because I know that he can save fuel and run fast. So it would have been interesting to see what his lap times and such were going to be.
And speaking of that, Dustin, you had obviously we were trying to figure out your own pit strategy and everything else, and were you just figuring that 30-30 all the way through to get the 5?
Yeah, I kind of 30. If you were a little closer on the first stint, I probably would have undercut a little more. But I could get right at like 35 without having to save any, or like 35 and a half, something like that. So I knew if I just went ahead and ran 35 the first one, if you were just a little further behind, that I could kind of give myself some wiggle room if it was close at the end to try to do the over, I guess, and make you have to run, about half the stint that I would on the last one, but have fresh tires. So it's kind of the way it ended up playing out there towards the end. It was pretty big on the differential on the lap times whenever you came out, or whenever I came out right behind you after making my last stop versus you like 15 laps in. So that was kind of what I was shooting for, just in case it was a little closer than that. But yeah, it was kind of right on the line, really. You could really do both ways, but I think just with how much tire fall off it is, not having to run full stints and being able to take tires every time kind of cut the fuel side of it out.
Yeah, I guess that was an interesting call by the admin team to put 5 here. Definitely changed the fuel strategy and everything with how long we had for fuel runs, where it makes sense to run the way you were, because otherwise you'd have been running like 40 laps at the end or so on old tires.
Yeah, there's always different ways to run every race. It seems like I was kind of disappointed that Jason had another pit issue for like back-to-back weeks now. I actually think he might have had one on Friday too in the truck race. That might have been Miller. But it just seems like every race that's a big difference is always just because somebody messes up on pit entry or pit exit.
Absolutely, especially that first pit cycle you go through. It's a big tell how the race is going to go when everybody cycles on through, and either you're like only a couple seconds ahead or behind of somebody, or whether you or somebody else is already 12 seconds ahead after the first stop. So
Yeah, whenever I was kind of doing my research and all that on the pit strategies, I think you had to be within I think you could only lose like 7 seconds a stint or something like that for you to come out in front of them on the last cycle. But even then, you're having to go 38 laps on that last set of tires, which is, I'm sure it was probably miserable. Versus me being able to just kind of pick between 15 and 25, whichever one I wanted to do. So that was kind of the deciding factor for me, was just that last stint of tire length.
we go from the 2 short tracks for the oval side to Kansas and Texas. Obviously, Kansas here for the stock car series, and definitely a fun one out there. Got that one dialed in. Think you got a good strategy for that one?
Yeah, Kansas is always interesting because there you can save and keep up pace pretty well, especially in these cars. So that one I'm sure will be a lot tighter, and honestly, the strategy will probably be kind of point blank on what you have to do there. So interested for that. Love Kansas. It's one of my favorites. So excited for that place. But yeah, after that, it's kind of I don't know after that because I hate worldwide technology. Eric's usually really good there. Nashville is probably my favorite that's on this schedule. Just concrete track. Love concrete tracks. New Hampshire, hate. I know I did good in the trucks at Milwaukee, but it's 2 different types of mile tracks, 2 different animals. Pocono, not my best. Usually I'm horrible at trying to work strategy out there because it's so big. So you can lose a second a lap basically and still be able to have a pretty good run. I mean, it's a 75 lap race, so you can't lose a second a lap. But you get what I'm saying. You can clutch pretty good there and not lose a lap.
Right.
Darlington's one of my favorite, probably the favorite track for me. Mid Ohio, I won that in the trucks last season, so I'll be interested there. And then Fairgrounds, the last time it was there, I think I used every fast repair and then some at that place. Just everybody was wrecking. I think we had like a 20 car field. So hopefully it goes better than last time. Talladega's crazy, and then I like Vegas. So I started off pretty good, but there's about four of the next 9, I guess I like or even don't hate. So we'll see. We'll see how the rest of the season goes.
There'll be a strategic Eric Thaler drop right there.
Yeah, I'd say I think I have to miss potentially back-to-back races with the 27th and the 4th just for golf season. So I'll probably miss out on the Talladega craziness, which probably won't be anything, a drop race can't fix. But
Right.
Hopefully I don't have to miss anything else other than that. We'll see.
We will see. All right. Any other shout outs you'd like to mention?
No, just thanks to you as always for doing this. All the other admin that make this possible. Josh Watt for doing his thing. And shout out to all the other guys that stuck through it tonight. I feel like I'm Martin Truex Jr. sometimes because it seems like every time he wins, it's just a crazy gap to second. But, you know, best advice I can tell to everybody is just watch some videos and then work on, what brake bias and wheel ratio works for you. So, like, for me tonight, I usually don't run 16-1, but I did here. And speaking of that, I updated Fanatec today, and I don't know what they did in the update, but my right shoulder is killing me. This track absolutely ate my lunch. So whatever they did, it upped the force feedback a little bit. I was running force feedback lower in the settings, but it definitely wore me out tonight. So that'll be interesting to kind of play around with the next little bit. But you gotta make sure your ratio and your brake bias fit. So I was at like 16-1, and then I think I ran around. I went from 58 to like 54 throughout the race, just depending on the run. So I didn't go as low as I usually do, but I felt like it helped me save. Here you have to back up entry to maximize exit, so it helped me kind of save tires that way. So it worked out.
Alrighty, well, thank you for coming on up here, Dustin, and we'll see you Friday.
Yes, sir. See you Friday.
All right, everybody, our race winner, Dustin Ryan. So thank you for joining us up here in the booth. Just once again, I'd like to thank you all for tuning in and watching. We will see you guys Tuesday night for the Road Series with James J. and Adam Sondag up here in the booth. And maybe myself on the track at Silverstone. We'll see. But I'll be driving the 6th that time. Anyway, that doesn't really matter. But again, I'd like to thank you all for tuning in and watching here. The reason that makes Midwest Motorsports great, along with the drivers and the admin team. James J. loves to say that stay in your lane, but I'm going to say live life in the fast lane.
The following is a presentation of the Midwest Motorsports broadcast team, consisting of Midwest Motorsports Mr. Everything, Josh Watt, broadcast producer and race control. On the comms and cams for the oval side, it's the man with the golden microphone, Michael Harris Jr.
We're here. We're all here ready to go. Pace car is in. Green flag waves from the stand.
And for the road side, it's me and Adam.
I am Adam Sondag. You're stuck with me.
And I'm James J., the voice of Midwest Motorsports, where signups are always open and always free. Friday nights are for the Truck Series, Sunday nights for the Stock Car Series, and Tuesday nights, the Road Series takes the track. Don't forget to like the video on the way in. Go to midwest-motorsports.com today. Okay, DW, take it away.
Let's go racing, boys!
And I approve of this message.